What's going on YouTube? H-Dub here, and we playing Raid, and we got a new fusion coming up on Friday, March 10th. They're planning to launch a special anniversary champion fragment event with a new champion, Supreme El Hain, and yep, that is the legendary version of our beloved El Hain. She is going to be High Elves faction, of course, legendary champion, of course, attack type, of course, but she is Void Affinity this time, guys. Let's take a look. So, Supreme El Hain will be a PvP-oriented champion with mechanics that can counter some parts of the current arena meta. Some parts is a huge part that we should pay attention to. Let's take a closer look at her skills. All right, with the A1, she attacks one enemy 2 times, and with each hit, transfers one random debuff from herself to the target enemy. Using the A2, Supreme El Hain attacks all enemies and increases her damage by 10% for each debuff on the target. So just pair her with the champion who places debuffs to get the maximum damage. However, you should watch out for the polymorph in your enemy team. If an enemy is killed with this skill, Supreme El Hain resets the cooldown of her A3. So basically, you can't really use her against the ultimate meta, like the most meta of metas, but you can use her against some of the meta, I guess. We're getting there. With the help of the A3, she attacks one enemy ignoring ally protection, strengthen, and shield buffs, and gets an extra turn if this attack kills an enemy. Thus, Supreme El Hain can counter a bolster set meta ally protection of such champs as Necrit the Great, Ursurga, Kyoku, etc. Moreover, A3 and A2 combo can get Supreme El Hain into a killing cycle with extra turn and cooldown reset mechanics. Supreme El Hain's passive makes her immune to decreased attack debuffs. Therefore, such high tier arena champions as Necrit, Mighty Yuko, Taraz, Ultimate Death Knight, Harima won't be able to do it. Also, she deals 20% more damage to enemies whose attack is lower than hers. On top of that, she increases ally attack in all battles by 30% with her aura. I think her kit is amazing, honestly. I think depending on the multipliers, she is going to be able to do some damage. Not sure how this is going to look as far as like the actual meta of arena, the current meta, because bolster is just a complement to the actual meta. It's 100% not the meta though, because sheep is the meta and duo is the meta. So honestly, like her kit is great. Her kit is amazing. I'm more hopeful to see what the other kits look like though, and I want to see what her multipliers look like. Obviously, some of the other guys, they're going to be able to test her out on the test server, so you guys will probably be getting some of that sometime over the, whenever, so yeah, I think her kit is great though. I think there's a lot of potential here. If you are careful with the teams that you select, you can, use her to do a ton for you in the higher tiers of arena. But I feel like because she needs, to get the most out of her A2, you need someone to place debuffs. That's no good. Just because like sheep is just is OP. So, you don't want to be placing debuffs. But I feel like anywhere else, this does a ton of damage. So against certain bosses, if you're placing a lot of debuffs on her, she's gonna do a ton of damage there. Necrit team, she's gonna do a ton against. It's gonna be very helpful to just kill who's ever protected by Necrit, unless it is, because this is a single hit, so Protected Rhodos is going to be fine. Protected Rhodos will wreck your team if you use her against it. I'm thinking about other champs. There's obviously almost any other champ you could potentially one-shot through Necrit, through Ursurga, but Rhodos is tough, man. Tough to counter. If he's protected by Necrit, you got to have the right combination of champions. So I think you know, there's some potential here. Cupidus Venus teams will be dead unless they're in stone skin, depending on how hard she hits. And if there's no sheep, she can do a ton there. So I think, you know, this champion has a lot of potential, especially being a void champion as well. But this is the new fusion, guys. This is the new fusion. We knew the fusion was coming. It's about a week later than I anticipated it to start, but no, actually it's right on time. It's right on time, because I was saying we should get it around this time announcement. So yeah, no, it's actually right on time. I stand corrected. So we got that coming up, guys. Let me know how you feel down below about her kit. I think she has a ton of potential, but we have to wait to see what the multipliers can do, you know. She had the highest base attack as a regular rare starter, so hopefully she has a really, really solid base attack as a legendary champion, and hopefully we can see some fun comps. I think this champion is going to help out a ton of people who are like progressing in 3v3, progressing, you know, trying to get those Ramontu missions done. Anywhere you are in the game except like plat pushing, I feel like she's going to be amazing. But for like the current meta of high arena, it's going to be a bit tricky to use her. Now, the fact that her A3 is single target does help in a lot of instances, because, you know, single target damage dealers have their place. And I think especially with the current meta, we're wanting to target either, you know, one or other of the duo, or not target them at all, right? You want to, you know, not touch Taras at all in a Marishka team, try to take out the other people first. And then with the mechanic of her A2, you know, it is an AoE, so you will be touching them, and then he will counterattack you. All she has to do is kill someone. It's going to reset the cooldown, and then her A3 gives her an extra turn, right? Yes. So wait. Yeah, the A3 gives the extra turn, right? Hold on, there's a lot to read. I'm not even looking at that. I'm looking at Discord. Let me look at the actual. Yes, so the A3 gives an extra turn. 4-turn cooldown is not terrible. Gonna get a decrease on the cooldown in the A2. So depending on, you know, how you build the comp, she can be very strong. But you're gonna have to, you know, obviously have tested her a ton to see, you know, the comps that you're going to be going up against. Make sure you're looking at the blessings on those enemy teams as well, just to make sure that you're using her properly, because she can either be great for you, or she can be just like any other damage dealer that you're bringing in there. So let me know what you guys think, how you feel about this Supreme Elhain fusion. It's coming up soon, guys, so I hope you are prepared for it. I hope you've saved your resources. We got CVC that's going to be starting just 4 days after the fusion starts. But until next time, be good and be well. Thank you for watching.